Hey guys, I want to talk today about a problem that is plaguing Christianity right now, and that is people being timid with the Bible and a biblical worldview. So, it clashes with the social orthodoxy of social justice warrior type thinking, critical race worldview. All these things clash with a biblical worldview. So, as Christians, we are supposed to be spreading the good news of Jesus Christ in a biblical worldview. So, how can we get it to people like that who are going to resist? Jesus told us people are going to resist. But with these specific people, how are we going to get this to them? Okay. So, in today's world, also, we have a lot of focus group culture. Look how they do movies. All these movies are super sanitized. Everything has a focus group. What demographics are we going to appeal to? What do we have to say to appeal to this and that? And so people are starting to catch on to how corporate everything is, to how sanitized it all is. There's even political and cultural positions that people take that just makes them look good. When I was in school, you had to be kind of a Democrat or you were kind of like a bad person. So, anyway, when we keep all this in mind, we see that now, take for instance the Gen Z people. Gen Z people want stances and positions that they can dig in their heels with and it has real purpose and really means something. It's not just a focus group position. It's not just a position to look good to people. So people want real positions. So this is where Christians can come in and say, hey, here is a real position. Here's a real worldview that we know that is consistent, that works, it conforms with nature, and it produces value. It produces fruit. It produces a good life. Okay? The biblical worldview, if you live by it, you will have a better life. You will have purpose. Now look at the atheist worldview. Okay? They have no purpose. They're just going to die and it's over. What motivation do they have on this planet besides basically hedonistic motivations? You go to work, you get money, you buy stuff, and you die. You do stuff, and then you die. What's it all worth in the end? Read the book of Ecclesiastes. It talks about that a bit. So these people need purpose. Before I came back to Christ, I was lacking purpose. And a lot of people don't realize how important this is to happiness, okay? With a Christian worldview, each and every one of us has purpose. If you come to Christ, you have been blessed by God, you know, and you can keep this stuff in mind, and that gives you hope. It gives you hope of a better life and a better next life, okay? So to get the gospel to people like this, we have to make clear that, hey, you do have a purpose in this world. You do have a reason to be here. You're not just a collection of molecules. You know, people today are going to yearn for that. You know, people want naturally to have families and they want to reproduce. It's in our nature. We are moral creatures in a way by nature. We all know that written on our hearts is some morals, and while man is terrible at following it, we know it's there somehow. How does that stuff happen? You know, we are more than just animals. We're more than just a collection of molecules, and we have purposes given to us from God. These Gen Z people, a lot of millennial people, they need the gospel presented to them in a way that they can kind of relate to. Then that does not mean watering it down. It means having a firm position, telling them the gospel in a way that they can relate to. Everyone I think each generation probably needs the gospel presented to them differently. You need the right tool for the right job. And with the atheist worldview so prevalent today, and with everybody, all these guys, they believe in scientism and all this stuff. Not to say that science is wrong, but we have to look at science through the lens of a biblical worldview. Okay, it's as simple as that. And so these guys need to have intelligent Christianity given to them. And that is possible. It is possible to defend Christianity much better than any other religion on planet Earth. And so these younger people, they need to know that they have purpose. They need to know that there is life, and life abundantly. And we need to use the right tools for the right job for each group of people or each person. These guys today are missing deep value. They have an almost superficial life. What is life in an atheist worldview compared to what life is in a Christian correct worldview? If you live in the atheist worldview, your life is meaningless. A lot of these philosophy guys try to come up with meaning, like people like Sam Harris and people like that. They try to come up with meaning. How can we naturally have morals without God and this, that, and the other thing? When the fact of the matter is, it's still meaningless to them. There is no real meaning in their worldview. And a lot of these guys, the depression epidemic is going through the roof right now. It's because they have no purpose. They don't have a deep purpose in their life, and they're not living according to anything. They're just floating along in this world. And now that America is basically fallen, it's just a matter of time until we're totally the Soviet Union. People don't realize how far we're gone in that regard. People are really going to need Christ. I mean, they need him soon. This country is going down. The world is going down. Look what happens. We were somewhat Christian in the 50s, and we give God up. Look what happens. The nation gets blown out in a matter of decades. It's obvious. People need the gospel presented to them intelligently, and that is absolutely possible. It is possible. And these younger people, I live in West Virginia, right? And the way the gospel is presented to people around here, like older people and stuff, it is not going to be effective on the younger people. I've seen it. I know. It's so frustrating because they call it, dad fairy in the sky and all this stuff. You're going to go live on the clouds after you die and this and that. They have a total caricature of what Christianity is. They need to know what it really is. They need to know that it's more than just fables or fairy tales. It's not even fables or fairy tales. It's real. And they need to know this stuff. So many people, Christians, take for granted today how many people are totally ignorant on the scriptures and what they say and what the story is. They're so ignorant on it, and it's a shame. You can see videos online of Todd Friel going to a college campus and asking people what Easter's about. Hardly anyone in the video even knew it was a Christian holiday, and in a way it's been associated with other things, but for the West it's a Christian holiday. And people do not understand all this stuff. They think we believe in total ridiculous fables. We need to give them intelligent Christianity. We need young Christians today to get up and be able to defend the faith like Peter told us, telling us to have a reasonable answer for the hope that's within us. That's not an exact quote, but it's pretty much right. We need to give them the meat. They are seeing all these atheist philosophers on the internet, people like Bart Ehrman, who is deceptive in the way he presents things. They don't know that. See, they listen to Bart Ehrman and they take it as gospel, and they don't realize how deceptively he presents things. He would be a great politician, you know, and it's just a shame. It's a shame for all the people around me that they go to school and there's some somewhat decent education around here, and they think that Christianity is just a laughing stock because no one has given them the intelligent version of Christianity. People need to hear it. They also need to know that they're sinners. They need to know the real gospel, but it needs to be presented to them in a way that they can really grasp onto, that they can get, that they can understand. And it is so frustrating to me to see this. It really is. It really truly is. And my life's goal, my life's work is going to be to give the gospel in a way that these people can relate to use the right tool to the right job. I'm going to school now. Hopefully I can do something about this, but other people need to do something about it. I can't do it by myself. Other people need to join in on this and make sure that people don't have a caricature of Christianity in their brain when they think about it. They need to know that there is an intelligent basis for this. They need to know that this is correct. You know, at the end of the day, they need to know that this is correct on solid, logical grounds. You know, now I'm going to try to start this YouTube channel. I hope it goes somewhere, but sometimes I just want to get something off my chest, and this is one of those things that's been bothering me for a long time. And I'm not going to go on about it anymore. I've made my point.